Hello, how are you? My name is
Good.
David Howard with Pancreas.org. Can you please give us your name, title, and function within the M1 Global organization?
Yeah, Monte Cox. I'm the president and CEO of M1 Global. That puts me in charge of putting on events, acquiring fighters, matchmaking, marketing, everything. CEO, the buck stops here.
You guys made it pretty clear during the press conference that you were different from the UFC. How so?
I don't know that so much that we're different from the UFC. I think we're different. We're going to be different from everybody. We want to take a little bit of a European approach, maybe, and we want to be truly global. Not where we're holding as many shows out of the country as we're holding in the country, and that's the thing that I think is going to make us different. We're not just trying to build young American fighters up through our thing. We're going to build young Japanese fighters, Holland fighters, etc. So we truly want to be global. Like I said, we didn't just put it there because it fit in the, in the logo.
Is there a goal in terms of the frequency of your fights and the quality of the fighters that you want to have?
Well, we started out with a pretty good quality with Fedor. I think all the rest of the guys will be better. No, I'm just kidding. No.
I don't think you could do it.
We're looking at going out and not just being. I don't want to be the scrapyard of MMA. I don't want to take every guy that's been dropped and kicked out of other organizations or is out there on their own. That's not putting together a quality group. We're going to look at specific guys that complement the stars that we want to pick, and we're not going to sign a bunch of people. We're not going to sign 50 people or 30 or 20. We're going to sign a handful of guys that we want to take and build our organization with, and then we're going to go out and look for the very best opponents we can find to fight them.
During the press conference, you also mentioned that you were considering implementing international uniform rules.
Right.
How close are you to that, and are you going to wait for the rules to be implemented, to be implemented before your next event, or you're going to do things as you go along?
No, we'll follow the rules that we set. I don't think it's going to take us much more than a week to sit down and actually go over exactly what the rules are going to be. It's just a matter of we've been so rushed to get all this done, we haven't had a chance. With them living in Holland and Russia and me in Iowa, we just need to come together and sit down and go over it. But I'm confident that with Vadim and Yost and Appy and myself that we'll come up with rules that we can do everywhere.
Have you decided which format you're going to use for your fights, ring or cage?
We really haven't, but I kind of got a feeling. I got a feeling it might end up being a ring, and the only reason for that is that there are places in Europe that you can't use a cage, and we want to be consistent. We want to be a show that you can take anywhere with our rules and our ring.
Correct. Do you know when and where your next fight will be?
I don't know exactly.
Your first fight, right?
We're trying to do sometime in February in the U.S. But beyond that, we have to get a TV deal in place, and a lot will be determined on what dates they have available.
Why do you choose New York for this press conference introducing Fedor?
Well, Sibling is based out of the parent company of all of this is based out of New York, and this is a great place to start. I mean, how many people would have shown up in Bettendorf, Iowa?
That is correct. One of the questions alluded to the possibility of having one of your fights in Madison Square Garden. Given that Madison Square Garden is such an iconic place for fighting, period,
right,
for any event really, how will you consider that as your first choice?
Oh, no, we're just saying, what we were just talking about it. We're all sports fans, and the history is incredible there. We're just saying, wouldn't it be something? Obviously, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. The residents of New York need to call their politicians, and Eddie Goldman needs to get pissed off and make something happen and get this thing going in New York. I mean, we can only do so many things. If you make it available, we'll bring it.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Cox.